We're live.
Hey, that's Paul. Paul Wall. Origin of the story, Paul Wall. First time I met Paul, he was fixing my friend's wall. He was fixing a hole in my friend's wall. And you know
true.
me, king of comedy. I was like, this guy's name's Paul. He fixes walls. There's a rapper named Paul Wall.
A to B.
Boom, boom, boom. Nickname for life. Sometimes we also call him Brick Wall Paul.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Noonan Show, everybody. How are you today, buddy?
Pretty good.
Yeah. I'm tired.
I'm sick of the weather.
I was just going to say, I'm fully into the I hate this weather mode.
It's just been too much.
Like today's one of those days.
It's not any better today.
It sucks, too, because I wake up. I like to have a routine of, I like to wake up. I like to have a couple cups of coffee and either go for a run or like a nice long walk.
Yeah.
Like you can't run every day, or sometimes it's just not good to run every day, or you have an injury or something. And those are the days I really look forward to, like the nice long walk around Castle Island.
It's not possible.
And I tried to do it today.
Yeah. It's not fun. It's possible.
It's possible, and but I'm not kidding you, man. Like between here and you know, like the beginning of Pleasure Bay there.
Yeah.
I drank like one of those huge Gatorades, and I was like good for 5 minutes, and then I was like, all right, I'm hot again.
Yeah.
Like the coolness of that was gone.
Yeah.
The breezes are great when they last. They're gone. I'm just like, man.
Yeah, this is the worst, where it's stagnant and humid.
And it's just
Yesterday there was no movement.
No, there's no movement in the sun, and I have like a hard time. I don't know if like this is a real low like level of annoyance, but like going in from the darkness to the light to the darkness to the light always
It
kind
doesn't
of
bother me, but it bothers my girlfriend.
Oh, really?
You both have blue eyes.
Yeah,
right?
she has blue eyes.
That's what it is. Yeah, it's your inferior eyes.
Yeah, it's
You'd
true.
never
Blue
make
eyes
it in
are shit.
You'd not make it at a hunting party.
Well, I have good vision,
Yeah,
but I have bad night vision, I think, with blue eyes, and bad like bright light vision. But
sometimes like movement is not great. With
what does
blue
she
eyes,
say
too.
about it? Just
Well, she just can't see. She's blind, like going out into out.
yeah, like when I first came in here from just being out there, I was
Yeah.
like,
She always thinks this place is way too dark.
it takes me just a moment. It takes me time to adjust.
Yeah.
And I also don't like sitting inside all day with like the shades drawn, you know. But that's how
Yeah.
that's absolutely how I feel like on days like today.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, I just want to stay in. Like after I do this show with you, I'm probably just gonna like stay in my room until 6
Yeah.
or 6:30 or something. Don't you feel that way, kind of?
I hate. Yeah, exactly. You
I
don't
know
wanna
we're
do
brothers in
anything.
that.
It's like allergy season too, so that makes people feel like shit. I think it's everything. It's not just the heat. It's not just the humidity.
Yeah, there's all kinds of reasons to be
Head's
sort
full
of.
of garbage.
But it's rough out there right now. But I always feel that way this time of year, and it's funny how it always surprises me. And it's one of those reasons you don't hear me complaining a ton about bad weather in the wintertime.
Yeah.
Like I don't
Yeah.
love it, but
Well, kind of the
Very
same thing
much so.
happens to me in the winter. It's like at some point there's a war of attrition. Like it's like this point of the summer, this point of the winter. I'm just like,
we're in like
you just get sick of it.
we're in the trenches of summer right now.
We have like a good 4 months. I think like our springs are usually good. We didn't have a great spring this year, but our falls are good too.
Yeah, Southie's not even that bad. Like,
Nah.
this is a good opportunity. Thank you, Flat Cat.
Oh yeah.
I got
Thank you,
presents from Flat Cat right here.
That's very cool.
Marijuana. So last week I was at Giggles Comedy Club. It was a blast. Speaking of heat, it was about 100 fucking degrees there.
Really?
Because it's in a pizza restaurant as well. It's connected to Prince's Pizzeria,
Yeah.
sort of adjacent to it. But the thing that connects the two buildings is a kitchen. And the green room the comics are in are like right next to the kitchen and just as hot as shit. And so like I went out to say hi to Nicole and Jess, and I sit with them, and they're like, "Man, you're like hot, like emanating
hot,
heat."
yeah.
And I was like, "Yep,
Like a pizza oven.
that's how it is." I'm next to a pizza oven, so I feel like a pizza oven. It was always great to see them. I've met them both before, but I've seen Jess. I feel like, a few times a year now. It's getting
That's cool.
It'd be semi-regular. I felt like the other comedians were jealous of this like sexy MILF. And I was like, maybe if you guys worked a little harder.
Yeah. If you guys ran or something, I don't know.
So that was great. So I want to thank them for coming, first of all, and then for the gift, which
Yeah,
is good.
That's awesome. Thank
Which is
you.
very good stuff, I got to say.
That's cool. Very cool.
You want to do some news stories?
Yeah. What do you want to do?
Some stories.
Yeah.
We leave too much on the table lately.
Yeah. Well,
When you're opening with like, man, I hate the weather.
let's just do all like local news.
Yeah. But it's just like, that's all we have to say right now. It's like, yeah, we're in the middle of July. It's hot.
It's way too hot.
I want to do outdoor things.
So do I.
But I don't like being outdoors.
Nah.
That's the problem.
Even last night, like at 6 it usually drops down, or even the humidity kind of drops. It didn't yesterday. Yesterday sucked.
Well, here's why I'm so stupid too. I went for a 5-mile run at like 10 o'clock last night. And I had a ton of coffee before because I was like, I want to go for a good run, but I'm tired.
So you just had to force it.
So I had a ton of coffee. Not a ton, but like I had a morning's amount of coffee at like 7:30 at night. Hung out with you for a little while. And then I went on this run. And I was like, I enjoyed the shit out of it. It was awesome.
Yeah.
But I did, when I got home and I was like taking my shit off, I was like, oh my God. Like my like singlet thing, tank top, was like just soaked. Like I'd thrown it in the ocean and taken it out. Like it was just sopped.
Yeah.
And I was like, fuck. And then so I was like, oh, I'm fucking. So then I take a hot shower. I drank like half a bottle of water and I go to bed. And then I wake up this morning and I'm just like, I felt horrible, man.
Yeah.
And I was like, you're such an idiot. And I got the AC blowing above me all night long.
Trying you out.
Drying me out. And I woke, and a fan pointed at me.
You're like,
yeah. And I woke up this morning and I was like, oh my God, I feel like fucking shit right now.
so crispy.
So then I drank a Gatorade, like one of those 12-ounce Gatorades. And I was like, nope.
Yeah. Gatorade doesn't do it for me at all. The sugar fucks me up, I feel like.
See, I think first thing in the morning, I think for like exercise dehydration, the sugar's fine because that's probably low too.
Yeah.
So it's might as well.
Yeah.
I've noticed in the half marathon, I like the Gatorade because it's just a little extra.
Oh, definitely at that. Yeah.
You know? So I kind of was like, all right. And then I drank another one of those and I was like, I'm starting to feel a little bit better. And I took a shower. I'm still drinking and this is how I know I was super dehydrated because I still haven't taken a piss.
Your body's just absorbing every bit of it.
Absorbing every bit of it and like sweating it back out my pores. All right. I'm glad we were talking about this because I don't even know how I feel about this guy.
I feel bad for him.
He's obviously an asshole.
Yeah.
But when I saw this video, I felt sad.
Yeah.
Her laugh.
Just because, I mean, everyone knew he was no threat, too. We're also our sound,
I don't know about that.
Our sound's going to be weird up here, but it's going to be fine for them. But we'll be half-ass people.
That's all right. I've seen this 200 times.
You're great women. Why is that okay? Why is it okay for
gotta
women
be
to say,
New York,
well, you're
right?
5 feet on dating sites, you should be dead? That's okay?
Who said that to you here? Nobody.
Women in general have said it on dating
just had
sites.
enough.
You think I'm making
Yeah, he
that
just
shit up?
snapped. This is like the
Everywhere
5th
I
thing
go,
that
I get
happened
the
to him
same
this
fucking
day. That's what
smell.
it feels like to
With the
me.
body
See, here's the thing. I kind of checked myself as a little bit as a dude when I was watching this because I was like,
Dude, you want to step outside?
are you feeling bad for this guy because you're a dude and he's a dude and you're 6 feet and you're like, man, I don't even know what it's like to be 5 feet
Literally
tall.
is, yeah.
Those kind of guys. The line he says where he's like, everywhere I go,
Yeah.
that little smirk,
It's so true, though.
biting your lip. And it's like, that's a dude who's just, he's heard 1,000,001 short jokes, and that was the one that just fucking snapped him, you know? Just couldn't take
the
it
lady
anymore.
probably just like glared at him just a little bit.
You
too.
can hear, first of all right, let's dig deep into this video. This strikes me as that type of fucking place where the employees think they're part of this cool gang.
Oh, you think that they're like the cool kids?
They're like the cool kids.
Yeah.
Because there's a scan at the end of the video where they like scan the restaurant and it's just filled with like a bunch of college girls and high school girls. And a bunch of college girls and high school girls work at the place too.
Okay.
And I guarantee you it's one of those places where the staff thinks they're hot shit. They love to throw people out. Or, or like 86 people. And, you know, this guy's just
done.
He's like, maybe he doesn't even go there every day. He's just in there and he's like, fucking, what is this shit? But I feel bad for the guy. He goes, you're not You're not my father. You're not
Yeah.
God. And you're not my boss. And I was like, oh, you put your boss up there with father and God?
Yeah. I got the same thing. There's so many levels of sadness.
There's a lot of sad parts of this video.
But like,
then,
he has to be short though. Does he have to be fat and short? Like that's. Like,
he's like 40 something years old. It's hard at that point. Plus he's like, but you know, he's probably on these dating sites. He's single because he says that thing. He's like, all the dating sites, everybody fucking says,
But-
I hate short guys.
it's true, but I hate that idea. It's like the incel thing. Like I deserve pussy.
That is
Doesn't that fucking
or
piss
I
you off,
deserve like a
kinda?
beautiful 9
Yeah,
or 10,
exactly.
you know?
Yeah.
That's the hard part is
I hate that.
I
fucking
grew up
argument.
watching movies where all the girls are pretty.
Yeah. And the short guy got the girl sometimes. I hate it, dude.
Yeah,
I hate
Tom
that.
Cruise
Yeah.
is 5'5".
Yeah. You're all the freaks. I'm normal height.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just strange. I don't know. So what's also funny about this is the nature of the world right now, because then this happens, and then I go to Olivia Shea here, who's like the bisexual college girl who's probably just straight. And like, so I go to her. She's gotten 3,000 followers since the last time I saw her Twitter, which was yesterday. But I go to like her Instagram, and she holds like a press conference with another teenage girl, and they're like,
That's
"So here's what
hilarious.
happened in Bagel Boss," like, and it's just the two of them in a bedroom, and they're just having such a good time with it. It's like, it reminds me of when you were a kid, and you'd just find a new game or a new type of like fort or a new type of pretend, and you were just so excited about it, like you couldn't take it anymore. It was that kind of vibe.
Well, like this is currency to these kids too. Like,
Oh yeah.
this is like they're blown away.
To
at
be
this
a
happening.
meme is
Yeah.
such a success. You know?
It's so weird. I remember like I had like a Twitter that I followed no one on, and explaining to my girlfriend's younger nieces like why I would have a Twitter that no one knows about. Like they like couldn't understand.
You don't follow anyone?
This is like it was just like I would just I would follow it, but I would block anyone who followed me. Sorry, yeah. Yeah, so I kept it like as
Oh, I see what
an-
you're saying. I have an
Yeah.
Instagram like that.
Yeah. But they like couldn't understand that, like why you would do that on a social media. Like they could not understand. Like, but no one knows. It's like a tree.
Yeah.
A tree
I mean, I hear.
a tree falls in the woods.
I feel like my girlfriend, even like her generation, they're more like they don't get the why. Why don't you want to be filmed? Like, why do you hate surveillance so much? Like, why? There's cameras everywhere. Like,
Yeah.
get with it.
Yeah.
What's the big deal? And I'm always like, that's really bad.
Yeah, it's scary. There's more food.
Oh, this
people.
is a goddamn trend now.
It's kind of amazing. I love like it's what you said the last time, that it's up to them to protect us, and I love that we're getting so much stuff out, like because people are exposing all sorts of shit to all sorts of different kinds of
All the
food.
loopholes or all the weaknesses.
There's no weaknesses. It's just like people are bad. You just open it up and you spit in something, or I don't know how we're getting ads today. We're getting ads.
It's okay. It's okay. Oh, we're on your channel. But I still get ads, so.
Okay, so this one is another ice cream liquor.
Much closer to home, an Assumption
Beautiful.
Parish man
Such
is
bad,
up this morning.
Press for
See him here
Bluebell,
in the
man.
video
Yeah.
licking the top of a Bluebell ice
But fuck
cream
Bluebell.
cone,
It's like you're
moving
right.
his
I looked in their
finger over the
website
top,
and they
licking it
He stuck his
and then
finger
putting
in
it
it, too.
back into the freezer.
But they should have. They have no plastic. They have nothing. They rely on the goodness of people.
Well, this man, he actually posted
Like,
a
Which
video.
doesn't exist.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's just fucked up. I don't like this. Assumption Parish.
This guy got immediately arrested too. Like the older black guy immediately.
It's like a federal offense, though, isn't it? It's some big
It's like
deal.
tampering. It can be. I don't know if I don't think like they've really had this issue before. Like it's like people are fucking weird. Like the copycat thing is really really weird with people.
Wow. Yeah, this whole thing is really terrifying. Not terrifying. I mean, I guess meningitis, some stuff could probably spread this way, but I'm not really afraid for like my life.
I'm not either.
But it's just one of those things where I always kind of I was saying to my buddy, I was like, I always kind of was afraid people were doing shit like this, and now
Now
if
you
it's
know.
it's a trend.
It's even worse.
It's like, all right, there it is now on the internet all the time, but then also you're gonna be like, okay, now there it is after the fact.
Yeah.
So in a year or two, it's gonna be ironic. Hey, remember when everyone was looking ice cream?
Yeah, exactly.
So now it's a thing, you know?
Yeah.
Ugh,
Let's see what else.
burping.
You see this kid? Just getting ice cream like a nice kid.
That was a nice supermarket. Looks like a Publix down in Florida.
I don't know what's up with our internet too.
We're having some technical issues. Looks like the weather's not the only. It's like the weather's slowing us down. It's slowing the internet down. This kid looks a little bit touched, as my brother-in-law would say. A bit touched.
It's hilarious.
Helado? That's not even in America, man.
Just gotta restart the browser.
That video we just saw was not.
It wasn't?
in America. Well, the signs are in Spanish. That doesn't necessarily mean it's not America.
I like how you pick up on things like that. I can't see that far, so I can't read.
Les signs are en español. Man. When I get dehydrated from exercise, I'm always like, how did I used to just live like this when I drank all the time? Or how do people who do, you know?
Yeah.
I do think, though, that my body is just a little bit more prone to dehydration or prone to, like, the effects.
Why do you think that?
Just bad luck, just,
Yeah.
like, genetics. No, like, reason.
Yeah.
It's just, like, that's why I've always...
It could be.
Had a hard time staying hydrated, like,
Yeah,
no matter
everyone's
what
different.
Because I'm kind of like fidgety and I kind of sweat a lot, so I think those
You
are
constantly move. Yeah.
two things.
It makes sense.
I saw this.
Yeah.
This was the one that really fucking troubled me. What is this, you know? I mean, she's mentally ill, probably. That's the manager just going like, could you please stop?
Please wait.
She was an honor. Yeah, I'm ruining all this food.
I mean, wash your shit though. Wash your vegetables.
It's making my stomach like turn to look at that, to think of that, because it's just kind of, are we gonna have? Are they gonna have to protect us from everything? There's just no decorum anymore.
Yeah.
You know.
Like this is how they're gonna get people like me and you to be like, yeah, cameras everywhere, cameras everywhere,
Cameras on each person.
Yeah.
And it sets off an alarm when you when you do something
Yeah.
that's stupid and illegal.
And they just kill you.
Oh, dude, I haven't even seen that one. Oh my god. It's my fear. That's the fear, man. That's what I thought. That's what I think people do, you know?
Yeah. Well, you're right.
There was a time, but you know what's funny? If I like had gone to a psychiatrist and like,
Oh, yeah.
and said like, I'm kind of afraid people are spitting and stuff, not
yeah.
to get me, just to get anyone anywhere, they'd be like, Will, that's a little bit paranoid.
We're gonna give you this antipsychotic.
But I would think they'd say, do you think what are the likelihood? What are
Yeah.
the and even now they
It
would
still
probably
is.
say
It still is that.
it's a 1 in a bajillion chance.
Yeah.
And even then, it won't make you sick, probably.
More than likely, you'll be fine. But you never know. You just don't want.
But man, what an anti-advertisement for like every product that they do it with, you know?
Yeah. But it's what you said. Like, you need that sale. They have to do it. They just have to. Yeah, we're not worrying about the dolphins and all the plastic in the ocean. People are doing this. Like, this is
Yeah.
priorities. You see this woman runs and jumps like a
Yeah, I
horse?
did see this. This was a thing before, I thought. I thought I'd seen this or something like, remember
really?
the prancing lady? Oh, no, that was a different thing. The
Look at how
prancer.
natural it is, though.
I
I
know,
don't think
she-
it's a horse, but it's not human. She got something going.
It's just her body is so...
I wanted to see her standing up. I don't know if she in this video.
she has... I love that the dog is like, yes!
Yeah. Definitely bangs that dog.
It's such a... she sucks and jerks it off. He just needs to release. I mean, she's fluid. Like, she's got... Her head is steady.
The jump is what blows my mind. This thing.
Wow. Dude, what a weird age this is. It's just people just are doing.
Do you think people have always
whatever.
been this weird though? And it's just like now there's cameras everywhere. People have cameras on their phones.
I don't know if everyone's always done. I don't know if there's ever been a time where people just did whatever the fuck they wanted without any care in the world for.
Here's another environment thing. Stay on the environment for a second. You know how they're replacing all plastic straws and you get paper straws and stuff
Yeah.
like that? So a woman dies after falling on a metal
my
straw and it goes
God.
through her brain.
Jesus Christ. Oh my good God.
I miss her very much.
That's one of those freaky just final destination.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
Imagine that.
You're just so unlucky to go from.
60-year-old, probably drinking a little bit.
I love that. You're just putting that on her.
Yeah.
Probably drinking a little bit. What'd she just slip?
Yeah, just fell forward, went right
She
through.
was making unusual. Oh, good Lord.
Yeah. It's,
She was a retired jockey. Dude, I guarantee you that's no. I was watching a show where this old woman. This show, The Americans, is a great show. And there was this old woman, and they were, it's like a show about spies. And sometimes, like, they're in these scenarios where they have to kill somebody, and they're just like, sorry, well, it's not our.
Yeah.
We don't want to do it, but it's just the way it goes. Like,
just business.
you need to die, it's just business. And they this woman kind of knows the score, like she figures it out. She's old. She's like,
Yeah.
oh shit. She realizes like these people aren't gonna let me leave here, and she goes, this isn't how I thought the story would end. The story of my life, this isn't how I thought it would end.
Yeah.
I guarantee that was probably one of her last thoughts.
Yeah.
She's like, wow, didn't think I'd die by a fucking.
I think it was.
And saving the environment too, like.
Yeah, exactly. It's a lesbian couple. They're just good lesbians saving the environment. We're worried about those turtles. With
I don't know
their-
though. This is one of those arguments that God smites the gays.
I think it might be murder. Like it sounds like a Murder She Wrote, like a modern Murder She Wrote plot.
I don't know.
I could see this on the Hallmark network. I'd watch this on Hallmark Mysteries.
The thing that I don't know. It's just a very.
It's just bad. It's just, you know what I mean? Like things happen. A 10-inch metal straw.
I would just think the amount of force that would make me think
Yeah,
it was
I
a
know.
murder investigation.
Yeah.
Because you'd have to go so hard.
I don't think if you fall though, you're going pretty hard. Think about how hard a head comes down when you fall.
It's true. I mean, people impale themselves from falls all the time.
Yeah.
Yikes! And then you end up in People magazine.
I was in my yard. I have just things growing, so like long sticks supporting it, and I was on the fence, like moving by it. And I'm like, if I fall, it's going straight up my asshole. If I fall, it's going straight up my asshole.
I always think I don't know what happened to my chin, but I think I impaled it on something. I'm lucky I'm alive. Sometimes I think that. I'm lucky. I think about that all the time. I fell and hit my chin off something really bad when I
Something
was
crazy. Yeah.
in a blackout, and I don't know what happened. And I always think, man, I could have just been this woman, or I could have
Falling off out of a window.
onto a train, any crazy fucking thing, Mm-hmm. Let's go with I learned how hard strong pot is today.
I love this one.
I learned the hard way.
This is a nice little short. It's pretty much a woman's personal account. What happened? So her husband had a back injury. They were on vacation in, I think, California, and they decided to try some weed. And so her husband goes out the next day and gets a ton of shit. Just also everything you could get, like pretty much like the kid in the candy
Edibles
store.
and-
Yeah, edibles, every single thing.
Pre-rolls.
Yeah, exactly. Weed. I think she doesn't say concentrates, but the way she says it, whatever you could get. So this lady, they're not exactly what you call purveyors
of pot. I like that.
Yeah. Neither of us have smoked a doobie since high school. We were both on the fence about legalization.
Whoa.
Yeah. 5 sons between us, so that's what they're worried about, kids. All right. But, all right, so he hurts his back. Back's still a little screwed up. So he gets a bunch of stuff, varying levels of THC and CBD, whatever that meant. Which is like,
God, very
obviously
level.
super dangerous. It's like, but vape pen, she liked that. She didn't want to smoke anything. So
That's
she
good, though, I think,
started
for
with the
people.
vape pen. I think so, too.
I was saying that to
Yeah.
your girlfriend.
Yeah, and I said that's probably good advice, but she wasn't convinced. Because you can just measure it.
Speak of the devil.
So, all right, so they start. Single dose, she inhales 2 or 3 seconds. Intoxicating effect could be delayed up to an hour, which I don't believe that from a vape pen at all. But,
For a vape pen, no, it's almost instantaneous.
yeah, exactly. So I don't know why they would say that. They probably say that so that you're not using too much. Like they try to like...
Oh, I could. That's. You know, but if you've never smoked weed ever,
yeah.
I mean,
you're calling it a doobie?
I would think the vape pen thing would be like, boop. You know what I mean? Like, because
Yeah.
I feel like when I hit the vape pen, I get instantaneously stoned.
One thing about the vape pen for me, it's almost pure THC. I feel like it's a way different effect. It's not
I don't
as
know,
chaotic.
way different, but it's
too dialed
softer.
in. Yeah,
it's more of a
softer and-
buzz.
Yeah, which makes me think I don't like the THC as much. I like all the other crap.
Possible. It was funny to me. Like at first, I was very cautious with the pen. I was like, ooh, I don't want to like hit this too hard and get too high and
Yeah, now
da
you're
da
just
da. Now I'm like, oh, it's
It's like water.
unlikely.
Yeah. Okay, so she wasn't interested in inhaling drugs. She does that. She didn't like the taste of it. So now this is where it starts getting bad for her. She coughed again. Tastes horrible.
Ooh, so she took like 3 hits of a vape pen in succession.
Yeah. The husband decided to try some chocolate. So it's all like horrible decisions if you're a first time person. Here we go. Okay, I thought I was gonna sit up and my legs.
It sounds like they're like not even that fun of a couple either. Like, all right,
Yeah.
let's take this edible and I'm gonna do laundry and
Yeah, exactly. So she gets the funny feeling. It gets worse. Her body starts to shake. She basically has a panic attack is what it sounds to me. Her husband's completely oblivious to it too. It's pretty funny.
yeah, she probably shook a little and then because that's what happens to me with anxiety. It's like if you think you have a symptom, you start to just do it.
And that's the next thing too. Her heart starts beating faster and
Of
faster.
course, she got scared.
Yeah, exactly. She's reacting to the drugs in the vape pen. As soon as you say that, you're like, I'm reacting to the drugs in the
Yeah.
vape pen. She said she only took 2 puffs and coughed them out. So that's also not a great statement that you really knew what you were doing.
I mean, it's not like she's never been high, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
She like is getting. That's the funny thing with weed sometimes is you're like, oh shit, I'm getting exactly what I wanted out of this, but it's just too much.
Yeah.
You know, but this is what I signed up for.
Yeah.
That is tough.
So, oh my God, my heart. So, okay, she screams, I turned my total,
Oh no.
say, call 911.
Oh,
yeah.
and they did.
Yeah, and they did. So they come there and they say, has she ever done drugs before?
Is this an
And
Airbnb?
It doesn't say.
Must be.
But they asked her if she ever done drugs before, and they say no. So they're just like, you're basically just having a bad trip. That's it.
Sick of these calls too.
That's all their calls over and over. They get a lot of dogs eating weed too.
Is that the end of the story?
Yeah, she just ends it like that. I wish there was more too, but she just ends it.
So what's the last? You're just having a bad trip. The end.
Yep. Yeah.
That's such an EMT. Your vitals are better than mine.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, I hear a lot of these stories from people. I've heard a lot of stories of like the pen or
Yeah.
like the kid eating the edible or all
Yeah.
kinds of things like that. But I don't know. It's just these things are going to happen. I guess it's kind of the same thing of, yeah, I drank so much I puked, you know, it's kind of.
It really is, but in a weird way, the way they legalize it, especially with edibles, they made it seem like this is completely safe for everybody to take. And edibles, people have a wide
Edibles are the
a wide
scariest
range.
that you mean. You know me, man. I'm
Yeah.
a pothead. I smoke a lot of weed. I love weed, but edibles are just a thing that I get nervous about because of
Yeah.
stories like this. And
Yeah.
I don't like, even with the pen, it's like I hit the pen. Let's say I hit it and it makes me feel like this lady.
Yeah.
I don't hit it anymore.
And then it goes away.
And then I'm now like
Yeah.
past the point of, you know, I'm in control of that pen and
Yeah.
I'm not liking the way it makes me feel. So I'm not hitting it anymore, but I just have to get through what it has done.
Yeah.
Whereas when you take these Edibles, it's like you're sitting around for hours.
You're waiting for 8 hours too.
And when you're high and you want something to be over, it takes 30 times as long, you know? So that's why I feel bad. I feel bad for people, but I don't fuck with them, you know? Even my chick,
I love them.
She bought some chocolate from the dispensary. And in that same kind of vein you're talking about. Oh, hey, you know, like, it's a chocolate bar, and I'm only getting into this, dipping my toes into this.
Yeah.
I'm not that serious about weed, so I'll just get the edible. It's like,
Which is the opposite thing you should do. It's a psychedelic. Your liver processes it. It's a whole different thing.
That's why.
It's a whole different animal.
And that's my thing. I'm like, I don't fuck with psychedelics.
Yeah.
You know?
It's a whole different animal.
I have no desire to, so...
But it is like for me though, it's a safe psychedelic. 'Cause it's still only going to be 8 hours. Like, even though it's more exacerbated than what you're saying, like, it's less control than the pen, but it's still control because it's only 8 hours. I always feel like I could stand on my head for 8 hours if I really had to.
I think, you know,
I've also never
I just
had
had an idea.
either.
Great idea for an app.
Okay.
Great idea for an app. Probably already exists. An app where if you're having weed anxiety, you go to that. It's like 420 instead of 911. 420. It's an app. It pulls up like a phone pad. You hit 420, and it puts you. You have a choice. You can either text, speak, or FaceTime with like this operator who's on call somewhere.
Yeah.
And that operator is a veteran pothead who knows,
like
like,
a veteran trip sitter.
Yeah, trip sitter, and they just go, "Hey man, like, you know, you smoke too much, like." This is my job, dude. I get calls all day. And I think most people, like, I guarantee you when this lady, because I had EMTs for non-weed related panic attacks a couple times in my life in my early 20s. And just them telling you, just like someone in a uniform going like, you're fine. You
or
go.
Taking your pulse and doing all that. Yeah.
You go, all right. You know?
Yeah, I think so.
And some people really are like that. Like, that famous cop 911 call, the cop who calls 911 on himself, or my favorite, the guy from the Patriots who was like having the weed panic attack and called.
Oh yeah, that was synthetic weed, right?
Synthetic weed, but he took himself to the police station. It's like some people, that's safety, you know?
Yeah, authority figures.
I mean, I totally understand that.
Yeah,
especially when you're young.
I had a funny experience. Well, we made a bunch of edibles, and one of my buddy's friend's wife, she had basically this exact thing. Said, "Call, we're going to the doctor's." Like, she got in the car and was like, "Take me to the."
Oh.
So he gets in and he just drives around the block and drives around the block and drives around the block.
That's what I would do.
And then 25 minutes later, he pulls in. He's like, "Go take a shower."
She's like, "I'm hungry."
She feels silly too. Like,
that's always the first time. That's always the first sign too of. I go, just give yourself. I've had a few guys get this on the road with me, like, usually on the road with me. There was a little stretch there where I was like, feels like everyone who smokes weed with me is having a panic attack, and that doesn't feel good, you know.
Because you smoke really strong weed, and people probably want to smoke with you who are not used to smoking. So
yeah, or they want to. I think a younger comic or something. He wants to be like, I hang, like I smoke, you know. Yeah. He sees me hitting it.
And the walls melt.
But my little trick I always tell people is there's always a clock around now, but always in a car, there's always a clock.
Yeah.
So I always point to the clock and I say, like, right now it's 1:40. I'll be like, all right, it's 1:40. When that clock says 1:55, you're gonna feel 100 times better than you feel right now.
It's so true.
When it says 1:50, you're gonna feel 10 times better.
Yeah.
Like, so let's just wait. Let's just reassess. Like, when that thing says 1:50, you know?
Yeah.
And it always kind of sucks them back into the here and now. And, like, wow, 10 minutes, that's really not a long time.
No.
And then they kind of realize, though, like, I'm still freaking out, man. I go, look at it. It's 1:53. It's only been 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Doesn't feel like 3 minutes. You're like, I know. And it's always the same thing, because that's the beauty of weed. That's like the best part of weed. That's the good part.
That's what I always want to say. And this is like the worst thing to say to someone if they're tripping. It's like, you don't want to be aggressive with them, but you almost want to be like, you're not going to be the first person to die.
It's just never
not going to be you.
They haven't even
You're not that special.
They haven't made the weed yet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They haven't designed the weed yet that will kill you.
Yeah.
If they had it, guys would be taking it and
Yeah.
fucking with it.
They definitely would.
But it is funny. I don't know. Weed is very interesting right now. I'm sort of doing a lot of bits about it too. You're absolutely right. It's sometimes people do, and this is hard to say as a guy who loves weed, but people give it too much credit. They make it seem less dangerous than it is.
Same with you.
You know?
Yeah, there are negative effects. And
Yeah.
for some people, that there are extreme negative effects.
Yeah. I mean, I love weed. I love to smoke it. But even I have to go like, man, I just did this like the other day. I was like, man, I'm smoking a lot. Like, you know?
I have to keep myself in check because I really use it to go to sleep. Because I sleep.
So you need that.
If I'm smoking too much during the day, it's not going to work at night the way I want it
That's
to work.
basically my
So I
whole-
really have to keep.
When I smoke too much, I don't think there's a ton of major downsides for me.
See, I don't
like,
either.
in my life.
Other than the sleep thing.
Yeah, it's just one of those things. Money, I'm like, man, because your
Yeah.
tolerance goes up, and then you start funneling money into it. You realize you're like, man, if I'm smoking 3/4 a week, that's a lot of fucking. You know, like when I'm smoking a lot,
that is a lot.
that's how much I'm smoking.
That's definitely a lot. A week, that's definitely a lot.
That's what I'm smoking heavy.
Yeah.
Usually though, I'm smoking like
Yeah.
a half ounce a week,
Yeah. Which isn't that bad.
which is not that bad. Sometimes less, but that's the other thing. Sometimes I also go through the opposite.
Where
I
it's
go,
way less.
I go through these periods where I'm
Yeah.
like barely smoking.
Yeah.
It's usually in the fall for some reason. It must be.
I usually eat more weed though. You don't eat any weed. So.
Nah.
Yeah.
I'm liking the pen though. That's my new thing.
I don't like I have 2 different pen cartridges. One's just THC. I like that, and there's one with terpenes added.
That's
and
the one I got. I
don't like the fucking.
I'm using that
terpenes.
one right now, and I don't like that either. I'm gonna tell
It's
you.
got like a little stick to my throat.
Yeah.
I don't want added shit. I don't want you to add things.
No, this one's got that too, and I'm like, I don't need this shit.
No, I don't like that.
But yeah, I'm excited for like the. I am excited. It has made going out more fun, like going out to bars and restaurants and like those kind of things in groups that when you don't drink are pretty just shitty.
Long movies. If I didn't, I would have hated that Endgame movie if I didn't have a pen. I just went halfway.
It is
in
nice.
The middle.
The pen at the movies is key.
It is.
You're just like, do you
We're going
blow
to
it
the
into your
movie tonight.
shirt?
No, I don't do it in the theater.
Oh,
I
I
do
do
it
it
in
right
the
in my
bathroom
seat.
and then I blow it into my shirt.
I do it right in my seat. I'm
I
like,
don't.
I actually, I wait until parts of the movie that have like smoke, like because I see a lot of action movies, so there's always like a
You're
lot
just
of
adding.
like, dusty explosions.
Yeah.
I'm like 4D.
4D, baby. You spit on the guy behind you.
Yeah. Usually people don't. I mean, if I were blowing like big vape clouds, I'm sure people.
I wish
would get
you
pissed.
could. I wish there was like movie theaters where you could do that. Where you could smoke weed, like a weed movie theater.
Might happen eventually.
I'd like that. Well, the smoking thing probably never, because they're afraid of fires. But
No, never. But like the vape, I don't know.
Yeah.
This is crazy. This is a crazy thing to say, but I'm a lifelong guy who loves to smoke weed. But these pens got me going. Like, man, like I love these pens. Like,
you might like the concentrates then.
if they made something that I just like, no flame, no dust, no ash. No,
yeah.
no crumbles of weed
Oh, yeah,
all
yeah.
over the place. Like no waste.
Yeah,
You know,
it's true.
you're just getting the entire cartridge, and then
But
it's
it is a
gone.
waste though, like material wise. Like throwing the cartridges away. I hate that.
The glass
The
cartridges.
glass, the plastic, the box they come in.
That is true. There's a lot of that.
I'm anti all. I hate that part. When I get weed, I bring jars to my guy. And he puts weed in jars, and then I leave with the jars. Like there's no waste.
I used to
There's
have a
no-
guy like that.
Like I don't like messing around. That's what I'm worried about with legal weed in the whole commercialization of it, because we
There is
did
a
it
lot of
one
waste.
way, and there is waste, and there was waste then too with plastic bags, but this is a whole different level.
I think potheads are good about recycling, as good as anybody.
Do you think?
Yeah.
I think not. I think most people who smoke weed are lazy as fuck. I really do.
What else we got here? Let's do another story.
Do you want to do Just Shave It, bro? It's like a success story.
Yes.
It's pretty funny. All right, this is Marissa Tomei. Do you want to do her first?
Yeah, we're doing
Do another.
MILFs or whatever. Hot
yeah,
older
just
ladies.
hot. Yeah, 2019. I typed in Marissa Tomei because inspired by the Spider-Man movie, which I thought she was very, very hot in. But I don't know. Another person just holding
she
it
was
together.
super hot into that, man. I saw
Yeah.
her on. I'd see her walking around New York sometimes. She was one of those ladies you'd see her and you'd just be like, "There goes a fucking movie star," you know. I remember she was sort of a punchline for a very long time for winning an Oscar.
Is that true?
Yeah, she won an Oscar for My Cousin Vinny, and people
Then-
were kind of like, "Oh, like a shitty actress won an Oscar." That was like the joke.
Yeah.
And I always thought that was
You think
sort
she
of,
should? People. I thought she's good.
when you look back, that was total like
Just
hot
hating.
chick shaming, what they would call now hot chick shaming, you know?
Yeah. I don't know. I think it's just like the same thing. Whatever these people are doing, because I don't see any surgery there. It looks normal.
I
But
don't know though, right? When it's good, it's good. But
Yeah.
also,
that's the
I
Spider-Man.
see women her age who aren't movie stars who just got good genes and like the skin stays tight.
It's true.
You know, it's just life.
It's true. Just
People
cute
forget
people.
too. Like, people do this thing where they tell me I look young, and I go, "Well, here's the deal. Like, I quit drinking when I was 26.
Yeah. You work out. You
I
drink a
work
lot
out.
of water.
That's 100% the reason.
Yeah.
And my brother and sister, who both still drink, look pretty young too. It's like so.
So there's
it's like a
genetics, yeah.
50% genetics thing.
Irish people like fall off a cliff though at some point.
Well, the gift and the curse of the Irish skin, you know, is like it's fair, but it doesn't wrinkle up too bad.
Yeah.
Until it does, and then
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's what I would say to people might comment to her. Oh, you look so young. She's like, yeah. I mean, I'm not doing anything.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah, exactly. She lives. She exercises. She probably eats real clean.
Yeah,
I think
she's-
water
but,
is
But then
key.
again, that's her job. You know,
100%.
People say that. People kind of.
Yeah, it's part of your job too.
It is, yeah.
Yeah,
which,
it really
it's something
is.
I try not to think about, but it is like I wanted to.
Like you couldn't get. I
I kind of had the urge to shave my head like a few weeks ago, and I was like, I can't really do
You
that.
literally can't. What if
Yeah.
you have to do more Honda stuff?
I'm doing one.
So you,
So I was thinking that. I was like, I kind of can't. I mean, I never signed anything that said I can't. But what's going to happen is if I show up to shoot with like a shaved head, they're like, ooh, kind of like your hair.
Yeah. Then you have to get like a Will Noonan wig.
And then
which
they'd
would
be like,
kinda
man, this
cool.
guy doesn't really play ball. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like on you to kind of keep the machine running when no one's renting it. And then
So crazy.
And then when someone comes by to rent it, you gotta be like, oh yeah, she's in tip top shape. Take her out.
Yeah.
You know? That's
Yeah.
basically what it is.
Yeah.
It's like you keep. I was actually thinking about that on my run last night. I really don't have to worry about it as nearly as much as actresses,
Yeah, exactly.
young, like leading men type guys.
Yeah.
Because I'm kind of like, well, if I gain 10 pounds, I'm just a new type. I'm just a dad now. or
Yeah, exactly.
I'm just
you go
like,
into another slot. Yeah.
and I can go kind of, to be a guy in commercials, like you can be a little chubby or a little bald or a
I think
little
people
old.
even like that when people are selling them stuff in a weird way.
They want, there's so much psychology in advertising. It's insane, dude.
Yeah.
Because think about it.
It's
I mean,
scary. Most of it comes out of like Nazi research.
Well,
if you
even
really
the
go back
holidays,
into
like
it.
I was thinking that, like, you know, every car dealership has Memorial Day sales event. I'm like, this is such a sad holiday to just that we've completely thought, like, completely forgotten
So
about
terrible.
how
Yeah.
sad it is. Or I mean, it's sad.
Buy a
It's
refrigerator.
a beautiful.
No, it's a
It's like a beautiful holiday,
but to commercialize it, you're saying on the
but
other
it's 100%
side.
about sales now.
Yeah.
President's
fucked
Day
up.
as well, but President's Day is
Less.
just
That, I'm fine
birthdays,
with
so who
that.
gives a
Yeah, I don't
shit?
care about that one.
But yeah, you know what I'm saying.
I 100% agree. It lessens it.
But it is what it is. That's life.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of like, if you look at ads, sometimes you're like, man, there's a lot of like life and death here. I didn't even realize it. Like a lot of dental and like health. They're like,
Pumping
you
it.
could die, you die.
yeah,
You know?
Yeah.
You're just like, whoa.
Yeah. You could die and they'll take your house. So reverse mortgage. Let's do this first. This is John Travolta shaving his head.
Whoa. Oh yeah, talking about just shave it, bro. This
I think
is
he
perfect,
looks great.
perfect producing.
I think he looks actually like really great.
Man, those two guys look like they look like the kind of guys you always meet on the fringes of show business.
Yeah, I think I've seen you take this picture.
There's like the guys. That's where like the money comes from. That's like where the the guy, you know, all the weird shit you don't see. You're like, oh, it comes from two guys like that.
Yeah, but I really think like he had a fucked up head for a while. He was doing this is the best thing I've seen him do for a while.
That's a great look.
Looks normal. Looks like a normal dude.
Yeah, I mean, and he's worn the toupee for many, many years.
They look bad. A lot of real bad ones. But
Wow.
success story.
What a interesting. You know who I kind of liken to him? You know who I think is the modern day John Travolta? Ashton Kutcher.
Okay, why?
Because they're both, here's what I think. I think they're both guys just born not very smart. Like, neither one of them. They're very handsome. They're very sweet, nice, smiley, but not smart dudes. But they want to be smart dudes.
Yeah.
And they, like, want to be, they want it all. You know, they're like, hey, man, I'm not just a good-looking model dancer dude.
Yeah.
I'm fucking smart. Travolta does it by trying to become a Scientologist, and like he's ashamed of being gay because that's also not perfect.
Yeah.
And then you got
So
Ashton
weird
Kutcher, who's
now.
like, I'm gonna go into Silicon Valley and
Yeah.
like I'm a legitimate guy. I'm not like they
So
don't just
weird.
hang out with me because I'm from that '70s show and rich.
Yeah.
And I can totally see there's something in both of their eyes. Like there's something in Travolta's eyes in that photo that's just like, this is the millionth photo I've taken, and I'm fucking awesome in all of them.
Yeah.
You know?
Still believes it. Yeah.
Still believes it.
I love that.
Smart.
I could definitely see that too. You're saying Silicon Valley. Did you see this stuff? Alphabet, the parent company of Google, has this amazing and also very scary Toronto town that they built for their workers. It's pretty amazing. All sorts of tech they're pumping into it. They're monitoring all sorts of data, more cameras than you could imagine.
So they built an entire town.
Yeah, and then basically outfitted it with all sorts of different data recorders so they could make the town more perfect and run more and more efficiently.
I wouldn't be surprised. I remember Tesla was talking about something like this.
that, yeah.
And I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, that's a modern day version on the hippie commune, if you ask me.
Yeah.
You know, that's
Yeah,
just a
it's
modern,
very culty.
it's
I
a
was thinking
modern
the same
take on the
thing.
hippie commune or the utopian societies of the '60s. You know, all right, this is kind of a side step.
Yeah.
But I feel like this falls into the same thing. There was a woman I saw, a story I saw today where this woman who's like 68 was getting helped by she had a heart issue or something. She was getting helped by the EMTs, and she grabbed the EMT by the dick and said, "How big is it?" And now she's on the sex offender registry, and everyone's talking about how like great it is that she's on the sex offender, and like how like fucked up it is that like women get away with everything. And I'm like, dude, like have you never heard of like demented people? Fucking,
Yeah, exactly.
Like you're like putting an old woman on the sex offender list, and you're dancing around it like
So
it's
ridiculous.
progress. Now it's the kind of thing that would happen in a town like that. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
exactly. Like that is the letter of the law.
A town that runs like the internet. It's like,
Yeah.
fuck that, dude.
That's the problem with a lot of stuff because you could just look at the case like you said. This lady's obviously a little crazy.
I mean, maybe not, but even then,
even if she
it's-
isn't, there's still no threat. Like
no, there's no threat. I've had my dick and balls and ass grabbed by a lot of people.
lot, right?
And I never like.
You're never in fear for your life.
There are a couple times, maybe I felt a little sad or something in my car. Maybe like a couple times where I was like, man, is that all or something? But I can barely even remember that. For the most part,
yeah.
it's like I barely remember it 20 seconds later.
Yeah.
Like, you just go, fuck, you know? It's not pleasurable. It's not something I want to happen all the time.
no.
But it's like, it just doesn't.
Do you think it's different for a man on a woman and a woman on a man? Just 'cause
I think
it's,
there's a lot. I think there's believe me, there's like a time. I think about all the time, like this hockey coach I had one time who like patted me on the butt just a little wrong. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I still go, that was a little wrong. Like,
Yeah.
he cupped it a little bit. But that was a moment in time. But it obviously did not make me feel super good. And I
Yeah.
still, like, from
still-
time to time go like, that was weird.
Yeah.
Like, just walking out of the locker room to do that. I wouldn't do that to a kid, you know?
Yeah.
But So there you go. There's a touch that happened where I was like, that's a bad touch. Like, it doesn't make me feel good. That's a bad touch. So I think it is person to person. I think there are people out there, if I'd been molested by a priest and some woman grabs my dick, I might have like a different reaction.
That's a good point. That's
my
a good point,
private
too.
area.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not some guy who lived his 20s like I did. That dick's been dirty in places in your hand, lady. But I just think like if it's especially an old woman, but even a woman grabbing a man, is that a sex offender? I think though there was a comment on the story I saw. It was on Reddit, and it was like a woman doctor, and she said, "Listen, I'm a woman and I'm a doctor.
Yeah.
If we put every old person that did this on the sex offender registry,
all of them,
it would be the entire sex offender registry would be old people." And she goes, there's a name for it. It's called inhibitive dementia.
Okay, yeah.
And it's like you lose your inhibitions.
Yeah.
And not only that, but you do stuff you wouldn't have even done when you were sane.
Because you were always...
And you didn't even want to do.
Yeah. That's when they get like a real racist.
Real race.
Yeah.
My own grandmother, flirted with me when she was dying.
Yeah.
It's
the brain's just... Yeah.
She just had no idea.
Yeah.
She just sees a guy.
Yeah.
She's like, "You're handsome. Who's this handsome guy?"
Yeah.
And she's talking in a voice like no one's even heard because it's her 20s voice,
Yeah.
Yeah. And I remember thinking, that's
but it's exactly what you
but
said though. It's just the brain, that part of her brain was really damaged.
I didn't
at
go
that
like
point.
she's a new perv. She always wanted to. It's like, no, dude. She's lost in that moment.
Yeah, exactly.
But I just think this idea of, one of the things I've noticed, I think my generation, our generation, we hate inefficiency. We hate it. But this next generation, they won't stand for it. They loathe it and they will not take it.
Oh, wow.
We dislike inefficiency and it kind of irritates us, but we sort of go,
Yeah, it's life.
That's life.
Yeah.
They don't have that, I think.
So they'll want a city like this where everything works perfect, everything flows perfect.
I can see that. I think I spent a lot of
Delivery
the last
robots.
week with 25-year-olds.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, you guys are just so busy, but no one's making you do it. Some of you are.
Oh, yeah.
Some of you are busy.
Just to be busy.
Some of them are people have always been, they're just hustlers. They're just in school and they're type of people who have a lot going on. But then you meet these other ones and you're like, dude, you're you work in an office and you spend every free moment traveling somewhere to go to a fucking concert. You know what I mean? Or to go to a fucking... It just is nuts to me.
It seems crazy to me too.
And it's all organized, and they got people to hang with, and places to stay, and it's and they got their next
hate
fortune.
that.
While they're on the trip, they're talking about the next two they're going on. I was sitting there
it's exhausting.
I'm Jesus, don't you guys?
Just take a breath.
You ever you ever heard of just watching TV, playing video games, or
Petting a dog?
It's true though. It's something I feel like my girlfriend sees as I think she sees it as wow, Will's he's making me more laid back sometimes, or he's laid back or something.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is just general.
No,
I kind of had to do it myself. I remember there was a point where I was so focused on comedic, I wanted to just get my footing solid, which I did. So that's the other thing. Sometimes I go, I overdid it, but what I needed to happen happened.
Yeah.
But it was I remember where it was, I almost didn't do anything that wasn't about comedy. It was almost every activity I did had to
So you do get it.
podcast or something involved with it. So, and I was that age, I was even older than she is.
Yeah.
So I don't give her a hard time, but it does crack me up, these they'll be well, it's almost like they see it. It's almost like they see empty space on a calendar or empty space as this. It's like it gives them anxiety. I
get it because I'm the first 2 or 3 days I'm super excited. then I start getting anxiety for empty space though too. Though, so I get what they're saying, but I just you can't
I don't know,
you
though.
can't schedule everything all the time. You really can't.
My whole thing is don't schedule fun things to do in your free time. Like, just you need to have days where you figure it out as the day goes on.
Oh, yeah,
That's
yeah.
like, to me, a very important part of life.
Yeah.
Like, I fucking love my free time.
Just let life come at you.
Even
kinda.
even like doing this show today, like I love doing it, but like one of my motivating thoughts of the day was like, after you do the show with Paul, you have like
You're
4
done,
free
yeah.
hours. You have like a block of 4 hours.
I just gotta unlock this.
You have 4 hours. We have nothing to do.
Yeah.
And then that just makes me feel good to know, you know?
Yeah,
You know?
I do the same thing. You want to clear it off.
Yeah.
I hate to have something looming over you.
That's definitely true.
Yeah.
I've had to make a call. I have to make a call to an insurance company. I've just been putting it off like every day.
Those are the worst.
You just like put it off every day, and every day you're like, ugh.
This is kind of crazy. This is a good story. So, slow ass.
Was that
internet.
just Shave It Bro though? That was it?
That's it.
No.
Positive one. Yeah.
He
there you
shaved
go.
it.
He shaved it. So this is crazy. This
I
kid.
guarantee you though, just to go back to that story for 1 second, I bet it was a gay dude who got him to finally shave it.
It has to
Right,
be,
it was like a gay-
It probably cost like
John,
$1,000 too.
John, you look so much better. Yeah, he paid a guy $1,000 to shave his head. You're absolutely right.
But to be honest, like that, it was a great job though.
Yeah.
There is, like, I don't know, $1,000,
not
but
a red spot on there.
But this kid was operated in the womb, and now he can walk. He wouldn't have been able to walk if he had. Yeah, isn't that so
That
crazy?
is nuts.
We're
So they
doing-
did surgery while he's in
Yeah, I'm trying to figure
her
out.
stomach,
Yeah,
And then,
not
like-
in mid development
and
too.
then finish, and then he's still like is in there gestating.
Gestating, inhaling.
Good golly, that
And
is something.
He
else.
still like needs this, but he would have zero chance of walking or having any positive life at all.
Yikes.
Like he was in like really rough shape. What it would result
He
in.
might not need that forever either.
No, they think he won't. They think like his muscles will build, they'll strengthen, it'll be completely normal.
It'll
Everything
stay
will be
normal.
completely normal. Is that crazy?
Wow.
Like
That's
we're really
amazing.
getting like every time people want all the doom and gloom crap, like we're doing pretty fucking amazing things.
Yeah, I mean that's amazing if you can do that. But operating before birth.
And then it makes sense in a way though, because like now there's so much stem cell floating around. It's gonna hail. It's gonna.
Imagine what the
It's amazing.
imagine what the pressure in your mind as a surgeon who does that kind of thing.
I just think you'd think like how bad this kid's life would be though. I think that's what's going on. That's what at least the first couple of guys had been saying them to themselves. Like we know what the end result
You know what I'd
is,
say? I'd be like,
but-
it's not even. It's like not even really a human yet. Like if I botch this, like you guys can't have another. one.
some people probably need to talk themselves into that.
I
I have
think-
no problem with that. If the end result is good things, I have no problem with how people get there.
I've heard from various people that surgeons are like the jocks of medicine, right? They're like they're kind of like I gotta do surgery, bro. Like
Anesthesiologists too.
They
got
don't-
the same
yeah.
vibe. Like they're just like cool, calm. They're like, yeah.
yeah, I'm cool.
This is crazy. Oakland decriminalized pretty much every natural psychedelic.
Things that would never happen in Oklahoma.
Yeah.
That's good for them. They're gonna have some good 911 calls there too.
Yeah, exactly. It's interesting though. It makes a good point though. Like, 'cause all these things are available in plants and things that grow. How can you really make, especially DMT?
Ayahuasca.
Yeah, DMT's in literally like I don't know how the percentage of plants, but it would surprise you of the plants that have DMT in it. It's a lot of plants. It's like, how can you really make something like that illegal? But
Yeah, that is fucked up. You know, that's the whole like
yeah,
stonery thing about weed. But it's a plant, man.
but it
Can
is
you do
true
We
too.
got
yeah.
we got bags of it right there from a garden, Flat Cat's garden.
Yeah, so how
you know?
you can never stop that.
And
But
actually, she gave it to me in like this little bow, and I was like,
I
"This
saw
is
the picture. It was nice.
This is the law."
Yeah, it literally is.
Like
it's
she
a
followed
gift.
it.
Did you put it in your glove compartment and lock it? No. So you broke the law.
I threw it in my bag.
Was your bag in your trunk?
But then I didn't do any of that stuff.
I do it every time.
What's funny too is that
I do that.
this is how much I have been leaving my flour at home
And just taking
taking the pen out,
So you
which
never
gives
have any
me this
trouble.
weird confidence of
Like, fuck you, copper.
yeah, like it gives me this weird confidence of like they're not gonna find a crusty bowl in this car.
Yeah.
Even though my car is there's so much weed in that car.
I never bring weed out. I'm such a bitch with that stuff.
I guarantee you there's probably, you know how they go like we found weed residue or whatever, they could probably find
Find
an
some
eighth of
crumbs.
like crumbs.
Yeah,
if
that's a
you
lot.
if you sifted through the car,
Yeah.
you'd be like, wow.
Yeah.
I remember one time when I was vacuuming it,
You're like almost shocked at how much you ate.
I was
Yeah.
like, oh my god, there's so much weed in there. Because I would pack bowls while I just drive, and it's just sprinkle. I just go like that with the rest.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm
so I
crazy.
always thought that. I go, any cop that goes like your car smells like marijuana is telling the truth. And I'm like, yeah,
Yeah.
and that's kind of like. So but I do. I always know when I don't have it in the car, which is rare.
Yeah.
And it's like gives me like this extra bit of like fuck. Go ahead, pull me over. I don't
Cutting
give a
people
fuck.
off. You're
I don't have
like,
weed here.
this, I don't know enough about the Earth's magnetic pole, but this made me nervous for some reason. It's
I
scientists.
hate articles like this.
I know. It's Business Insider, so it's like okay stuff, but
You can't trust these links anymore though. They just
well, because some of them are sponsored stories.
all of them like
Yeah.
Business Insiders, Forbes.
Yeah, but I've read this other places too. But basically, every so often the Earth's it's constantly moving the magnetic north, and they try to predict where it's going because they need to know where it is for GPS to work as efficiently as it can. But so this is the map. Hang on, let me pull it up of where they modeled it to be and where it actually is, like where it observed, and they're never on, and it's also moving faster now than it has previously.
Oh my goodness. Well, all right.
All this
is stoner.
Yeah,
This is stoner shit, but I believe in climate change and stuff. And
Like, man.
I believe we've affected it
Yeah, okay, yeah.
to some degree.
Yeah,
but
to
I
some
also
degree.
think there has to be natural climate change.
100%.
Like-
100%. The sun, we're at a point of less activity of the sun right now. Things like that happen. There's a
Yeah.
wobble. Like it doesn't just rotate around the sun. There's
Makes
a wobble
total
too.
sense though that there would be that the Earth itself would also have seasons over
Yeah.
time.
It definitely does.
You know?
The sun does. The sun burps things out. Like some people think the last ice age was ended from like a solar, like not a solar flare, but some kind of sun burst.
Yeah. But so there you go. Like all that stuff happened well before
Yeah.
there were any human beings. And every time magnetic north moves an inch or two, or the ocean
Yeah.
goes a degree up or down, or everyone freaks out. I think it's good. But I was saying this to a friend the other day. I go, it sucks that everyone now feels like they're justified in lying to get what they
Oh yeah, yeah.
need.
Yeah.
Everyone feels like it's okay if we lie to if it means people treat the environment better.
Yeah.
So it's like let's just say
Whatever we want.
whatever scares them into
Like
doing it.
the new thing, the Earth. We have 12 years. Oh, we can't turn this around. We have 12
Oh,
years.
12
They keep
years.
saying 12 years. Like it's like they did the math.
Yeah.
12 years, guys.
I mean, Al Gore was 20 years ago. It was-
Ugh,
but I
flying
mean,
around
that
his
stuff
fucking
is
jets. I hate Al Gore.
they do need to do some shit. They
They
people
do.
need to change
100%.
their habits and all that kind of
100%.
stuff. But
Not that poor lady earlier with her aluminum straw.
you said it before I could. I was like, she'd tell you like, there's a woman trying to help the environment. She's got a straw on her
Yeah.
head.
She's like, "Fuck those turtles." That's what she'd say right now.
I was thinking like, they're trying to close the coffin. It keeps getting stuck in the straw. Like, damn it, these metal straws.
What a
They take it
hard
out.
way
They
to
put a
die.
plastic straw in. They close
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
How about no straw? No.
No,
This is how she went.
she died as she lived.
With a straw in her eye. And a little bit of coffee. I wonder what was the beverage.
Yeah, I wish they knew. I didn't say. I think it's alcohol. I feel like you're not falling down unless it's alcohol.
I thought we did the Chinese brain.
Yeah, we
implants.
did. Yeah.
What's this? Oh, we did alphabets.
I think we might have done all of these ones.
Wow, we did all the stories. I felt
From
like
last week.
on the way here today, I was like, we haven't done we miss a lot of
We do. Let's go back
leave a lot
another
on
one.
the
Let's
the
go
table.
One more.
Yeah,
26.
we'll do one more.
Let's see. So we definitely. Maybe not. Maybe we've been good.
Nah, I don't know if we did all the UFO Navy pilots. Did we do all those? Did you? All right. How about this one? I got one for you. We don't even need the thing. Like, this was just something I read on Reddit. Some guy was. Oh, did you see the gamer girl bathwater?
No.
Oh, just type in gamer girl bathwater. We'll talk about that. But while you're doing that, there was a guy on Reddit who was trying to start a thing where he wanted 10,000 people to show up at Area 51. And he's like, if everyone rushes it, he's like, some of us, they can't kill us all. Some of us will get in. And people were like, yo, for real, it's a good idea. And I was like,
No.
Other people were like, it's a terrible idea. And they will get us all. So, you know, so this girl,
Holy shit.
she sort of trolls her own fans, it sounds like.
Okay. I'm into that.
So it almost seems like she says, like, what can she get people to do? She's from the UK. She was getting people, she was like, if I raise a certain amount of money, like, I'll do Pornhub videos. And then she did them, but she didn't really show anything. She just
Okay.
like, but she did like provocative titles like Gamer Girl Strokes Cock, and it's just her like petting a chicken. So she does all this stuff. So then she sells her underwear, all kinds of things, and she's made a shitload of money. So then she was like, I'm going to sell my bath water that I'm in on stream.
I'm pro all this stuff. Like, if people want to buy a square on the moon, they want to buy bathwater or this
Yeah.
chick, I think it's go for
There's
it.
an
More power to you.
ocean. That's another one you can do. You can buy. North Korea and South Korea are selling chunks of ocean that you can buy and be like, and you can be the president of that like country, that nation.
That's so funny.
So it's like giving someone the gift.
President Noonan.
Yeah, President Noonan. Any ships that pass through there
Yeah.
owe me 1 gold coin. So
One gold Noonan.
So she sold a shitload of this. She sold it all out. And one of the things that ended up being funny was it caused a lot of discussion across the internet. But one of the things that was funny about it was other YouTubers bought it, like other famous YouTubers, and they were drinking it. And one guy vaped it.
I was just gonna say like this.
And people were like, what?
Listen, lady, I boofed your water.
Other people went through her history and found like subtle cold sores on her lips and were like, you all have herpes now. And it was just one of those kind of things. It was just a little
the
fun
internet.
little story.
That's the internet at its best. I enjoy that.
I always wondered if I remember seeing a Real Sex on HBO where they had those Japanese vending machines that sold used panties.
So crazy.
Do you remember that?
Yeah.
And they showed how the guy, it was an old man in like an apartment. He would buy panties. He would buy tuna, cans of tuna. He would dip the panties in the tuna, like water, and then
Yeah.
put them in a bag and sell them for like $100.
That's smart.
And these guys would buy it, sniff tuna juice, and be like, yeah.
Men are fucking so weird.
And I'm like, God damn, they sold you like a foul, fishy pussy.
And that's what you
Smell it,
wanted.
you're like, yeah. But then again, if it smelled like nothing, you'd be like, well, I just get ripped off. I know a comedian, Mike Bain, he talked about on my podcast. Guy used to pay him like $150 just to walk around in a pair of socks for a day and then sell it to him.
There's so many. How do you like? This is what I always wonder about those things. How do you figure out that's your fetish? Do you know what I mean? Like, how do you get to these weird things?
All kinds of
like
stuff.
I get like
that.
you like fat asses, you like big tits. Those are obvious things.
The way I've always
Like-
thought is it's got to be like when you're a kid. When you're a kid and you see a woman for the first time and something clicks.
Yeah.
Like, and you're like,
That
whoa,
sucks.
that's a little bit more than I've
Yeah.
ever, like, why have I never noticed that?
Yeah.
It's got to be like one day you're just watching, like, you know,
Probably a relative.
I didn't say you're like what's like one of the weirder fetishes though? Like
The funniest one I've ever seen, it was actually on My Strange Addiction, but it was a fetish. It was like called Looners. People either would pop balloons or they'd put their put their whole bodies in latex
that's
and
a big
blow it
one.
up.
So yeah, so you
That
gotta
one
be
fucking
one day a
cracked me up.
balloon's gotta pop at
Yeah.
a birthday party, and you're like, "Ooh, what?"
Then you're like, I want to be the balloons. They'd like wear suits and they'd inflate the suits and they'd be like, it's so funny.
Yeah, it's so
I always
outside
wonder.
the realm. Me and my chick always talk about. We were both like went to Catholic school and stuff. We always talk about like. I mean, neither one of us has any
weird things.
like weird things. Like we barely even talk in bed, and we're yeah, you know, if we do, it's very mundane, kind of like, you good? Why are you looking at me? but we talk about it all the time. We talk about stuff like this. We're like, man, it's so
How
like
you
it just
get
makes us
there?
laugh because we're so vanilla.
I always wonder, like, you're driving by and you're like, you got a prostitute getting head, and then you see a horrific crash. So
You're
now
like,
you're just chasing
"Fuck."
that the rest of your life. It's like,
That's the thing, though, right? That's like the whole. That's the
what I
whole
wonder.
Louis C.K. like duck penis bit. He's like, what if I eat this and I love this, and I'm eating duck penis all the time?
it's true.
I'm hunting it down in every city. Where's the duck penis here?
I never heard that.
It's so true.
I always wonder about that, though.
I always thought about the money. A lot of guys, I've heard of a few guys get into issues with paying chicks like this to like fucking
Buying
talk to
them stuff.
them and
Yeah,
like,
yeah. I don't get that
and
at
like
all.
and strip for them. I know it's like sexual too. Like they never say it, but I'm like, you're definitely.
There's so much of it. It's most of Twitch is that now. If you go on Twitch like late at night, like it's
like Twitch, I feel like is even more wholesome than what these guys I know are doing.
there's more.
They're
yeah,
like
there's
straight
probably
up
another level.
cam girls.
Oh
Like they're
yeah.
fucking themselves with dildos and stuff.
Yeah. You're donate. Yeah, those.
And you're giving them like hundreds of bucks. I remember this dude I know was doing it. I was like, oof. Part of me wants to be like your bro and just say, hey, you know, everyone's got their thing. But another part of me wants to just say, hey, man, it's like a really dark.
Yeah,
little
maybe
spot.
try crack. Like that'd be like an upgrade. Honestly, like,
Just a dark spot of the internet there.
that's hilarious.
Yeah. So Gamer Girl Bathwater is a big story.
That's so funny.
And
Do you ever see like the ASMR stuff?
oh yeah.
That's so funny. That stuff's so weird to me too.
I thought about doing it actually for a little while. Because I think some people
think
use
there's a lot of
hypothetically
dudes.
as ASMR.
I don't think there's a lot of dudes doing it. I don't see.
Hello.
Hello.
There's ASMR that is like triggering for me because there's ASMR of like people eating,
Oh yeah.
people like
It's like your worst nightmare.
just noises like crinkling things and cutting their fingernails and stuff. I'm like, fuck that. But I listen to stuff that I guess you could say it's almost like a ASMR. Is I listen to these I listen to a lot of ambient type stuff. Like I'll listen to, you know,
Yeah.
starts off with like rainforest sounds. That's probably my
It's like,
number one is like rain. Yeah, like like a little bit of that. That's probably my number one. I listen to him in the shower sometimes. I listen to him in my room when I'm just like
I like to go to
chilling.
sleep to that, like a rainforest, like a good cold, dark rain.
It's great.
Yeah.
But every now and then I'll go a little wild and put on like Skyrim. It'll be like Skyrim tavern noise.
That's funny.
Or like
So you do like it, yeah? You definitely like it.
So every
yeah.
now and then I'll listen to that, and it's like just the hum of like a crowded tavern.
Never thought to
like
listen to
clinking
that.
glasses and
Yeah.
like a little bit of like soft,
Does it help to like write to something like that?
all that shit. Yeah. To write though, I usually listen to those like wave stations. Those like
Oh yeah.
those like vaporwave.
Yeah.
Like DJ. The one with the girl. There's a bunch of different ones, but my favorite one's the like raccoon in bed. You ever seen that?
No.
There's a ton of. There's like 4 big ones on YouTube. There's the girl in like the space shuttle.
Okay, I think maybe I.
There's like an anime girl in a space shuttle, and then I like this sort of like it's like an anime raccoon in bed. And I actually modeled some of my bedroom after it.
You did?
Yeah, I did. I was like, I wanted this coziness factor
That's cool.
that the that this thing. They update it all the time too. What's the draw Doom guy?
Oh, that's kind of cool. Where's that one?
Down, up. There you go.
This is really cool. They're using AI now to basically comb over old games and update the visuals. They use like the neural network so it went from that to this, that to this.
This is kind of like those deep fakes that are unbelievable.
It's the exact same technology as that.
Really?
It's the exact same thing. But
Wind his teeth.
they're doing full textures and giving old games new life.
Oh, that's
Pretty
interesting.
amazing. Yeah, there's a lot of them too.
Oh,
It's pretty cool.
we should talk about the 225 I bowled on this.
Oh yeah,
should talk about
yeah. You didn't say that.
8 strikes, motherfucker.
That's so crazy. Can we? Is that posted
It's
on
on my
your Twitter?
Instagram.
Instagram. Okay.
Actually, yeah, it's on my Instagram. Yeah, well, I'm talking about that, I guess. But that was something epic and unexpected. Although I did say to Pat that morning, I was like,
Feeling good.
I was like, I have a feeling I'm gonna bowl well today. I could like feel Will Noonan, the comedian. I was like, I just have a feeling I'm gonna bowl well today. Like I got the shining or something. I could feel it, and then there it is, right there. So.
A league sanctioned too. It was
League
a
sanction.
match.
That's my
Yeah.
best I've ever bowled. I bowled in competition, which is
Pretty crazy.
I don't know what that says about me, but I think I felt like it was related to comedy in the sense of when I was at that second run of strikes there, when I was like in the middle of it,
Yeah.
a crowd started to form.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is where being a comedian comes in, because I'm like, it's not freaking me out that much.
I think it's definitely true. 'Cause that would crumble a lot of people right there.
Yeah.
But that's normal for you.
I was like, it's not
It's
that
probably easier.
Yeah.
In a weird way.
I was like, this isn't that bad. I do think in a sense of I got locked in like that because I don't know. I just like I did something right on those first two, and I was like, I'm just gonna like
You just
not.
kept doing
I'm not
it,
gonna
yeah.
think this through too hard. I'm just gonna keep getting up. But anyway, I probably won't have a game like that for a while.
It's still pretty amazing.
I might have better scores, but those 8 strikes were major. And it's so funny too. This 8, which I left open, a lot of people were like, "What the fuck, man?" It's like, I missed getting that by like a millimeter. The ball
Really?
just went right by the pins, and it would have not. But that would have, like, if I had gotten a spare there, that would have shot that score up to like 260
It would have been crazy.
or 250 or something.
You'd have been on the news.
I already got the 3rd highest score of the league this whole season. So.
What's the highest? Do you remember?
Like 2. Well, that's what's so funny about this. Like a second. I'm not even kidding you. Less than 5 minutes, 3.5 minutes later, another guy finished and he had a 248 or
That's
something,
crazy.
249. And it was, everyone was watching me, and then someone goes, "Look over here," and this guy was on
That's so crazy.
another run. But it was. No one's calling me like shitty ass bowler Will anymore, like, that's maybe the best part. Like,
So you've got to the next level.
I got a little bit of like, oh shit, this guy can bowl. And then I bowled yesterday with 2 guys 70 plus,
Yeah, that's awesome.
who are the 2 best bowlers at the whole bowling alley.
That's so crazy.
And I played like 4 or 5 games with them, and I'm just like, you guys make it look like it's just walk up there, throw a ball.
Yeah.
Like they're old dudes, man.
Yeah.
I mean, 70s and getting like not the early 70s.
It's so good.
And they
so.
throw it like they walk up and they kind of place it down there, and it just goes. And you're just like, how the fuck? And then they go, "I've been bowling for fucking 50 years." You know?
Yeah. It's so crazy. That's what we were talking about earlier. How you get like weird fetishes. This guy claims he steals pool floats to use for sex instead of raping women.
See, here's the thing. This is where I think people are just different, because I've definitely been in a pool and like smelled that pool float and been in the sunlight and in the water and been like, This is a great moment. Like, I feel great right now.
And that's it. Probably exactly what you said.
For other people, it's like, I'm hard
Yeah, because it attaches to something else.
to something else.
Yeah.
Because I can be like that. I can definitely. One of the reasons I like the movie Toy Story so much is because I felt so bad when I stopped playing with the toy when I was a kid. I used to
Really?
be like, man, this thing like
Lost its life.
lost its life because of me growing
Yeah.
old.
I used to have that with. It's the only time I can really say I had anxiety with coloring. I was always like, if I don't color this imperfect, they don't exist.
Oh man, that's so interesting. Ha, that's got to be from like a cartoon or something.
It's got to be
So,
something, yeah.
Who Framed Roger Rabbit or something?
How old do you think this guy is?
Oh gosh. He looks old, but I'm gonna just going by the lack of gray.
Yeah.
I've gotten better at this.
Yeah.
Because he does look old, but I'm gonna go with the lack of gray. I'm gonna say he's 31.
Close. 35.
35. I gave him, because that could be a 31 who's really on meth. You know?
Yeah. So they found like hundreds of inflatable pool
This
things at
guy's
his
around
house.
my age. That's why I love seeing that. It actually makes me feel good.
Yeah, you're doing good, man.
You know?
You're doing good.
Guys around my age, like, I'm not trying to fuck pool
Nope.
floaties and then
Nope.
using the excuse of, what do you want? Want me to rape
You mean to
women?
rape women? That's literally.
Pick your fucking poison, Florida cops.
What do you want from me?
You guys won't let me do anything. That's funny. Well, I'm feeling more hydrated
That's good.
than I did when I sat
Body's
down.
soaking it up.
I still feel like, though, I think I will go for a fucking sweaty walk around Castle Island. Just for anyone out there that wants to come. Fucking. There's this new thing where famous women, celebrities, won't take selfies with fans because the fans then go post them and then it like reveals their location. And then they have to worry about someone coming and finding them. And
I get
and I was
it.
thinking that's got to be for all really famous people now. That's got to be doubly bad. Like before, it was like if Brad Pitt went to a bar, what a few people got phone calls or something.
Yeah.
But now it's like
Exact GPS
exact
location.
GPS. Everyone's like, he's here, he's here, he's here.
Yeah.
No wonder they don't do anything. All right, 14, 19, 4, 3.
I'd carry a gun.
Just higher security, I guess.
Yeah.
Lost again, Paul.
Lost again.
We are on a losing streak.
Do you have anything coming up?
Oh, I got so much coming up, man. Let's go to willnoonan.com. I got a bunch of dates. I'll be this weekend, though. This Saturday, I'm in Lewiston, Maine. I'm at a fundraiser up there. I don't know what it's for, but if you live in Lewiston, there's probably only one fundraiser in Maine. Or in Lewiston.
that one.
This Saturday night, there's only one comedy show. That's mine. I'm at Laugh Boston this Friday.
Oh, yeah.
There you go. That'll be a good one.
That's a cool one, too.
That's a great show.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I'm doing Rob Saul's new radio show, which is kind of like this.
Tomorrow, right?
Tomorrow at noon.
I saw that.
So there you go.
He's awesome. I like his show.
He's a great dude.
All right. We'll be at it next week. Hopefully it's cooler.
Peace. Hopefully it's cooler. In every way.